These are the major seventh type chords on the 2, 3, 4, 5 string family in G flat. And we'll begin by orienting our ears, I guess, with the D flat chord dominant. So on the lower 4 strings, 3, 4, 5, 6, D flat, A flat, B flat, and D, like a 13 flat 9, and then move the B flat to B natural, D flat, A flat, B, and D flat. So sort of a dominant 7 chord, and then we can go to the G flat major. So we'll start with the basic G flat major, root 5th, 7th, 3rd, low to high, G flat, D flat, F, and B flat. First inversion, B flat, F, G flat, and D flat. Second inversion, D flat, G flat, B flat, and F. We're down here. And third inversion, F, B flat, D flat, and G flat. And the voice exchange on that from F to G flat is common. So G flat, B flat, D flat, and F, straight up and down. So we'll start here and we'll go from the highest in the position, and we'll probably end up doing a variety of approaches for each one. But this is G flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. So fourths on top. Lower the D flat to C for the sharp 11. Lower it to B flat. G flat, E flat, A flat, and B flat. And then we'll just start progressively lowering elements. This is G flat, E flat, F, and B flat. So we've lowered the A flat in the alto voice. Lower B flat to A flat. G flat, E flat, F, and A flat. Lower the E flat to D flat. And we're back to the original. G flat, D flat, F, and B flat, going to an A flat on top. So a D flat triad above a G flat. G flat, D flat, F, and A flat. Lower the tenor voice to C. G flat, C, F, A flat. Raise the top voice to B flat for a fourth sound. Traditional 6/9 sound, G flat, B flat, E flat, and A flat. Back to this chord, G flat, C, F, and A flat. Sometimes we know that as an A flat 13 type chord. And we can lower the tenor voice to B flat, G flat, B flat, F, and A flat. That's a common voicing. And then if we switch the middle two, we get an A flat 7, which is an A flat over G flat. G flat, C, E flat, and A flat. Moving further this way, there's our 6/9. If we take that C down to B flat and we move gently down, G flat, B flat, E flat, and F. Remove the E flat, go to D flat, G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. Raise the top voice to an A flat, which is a major triad with an added 9. Also, we can now bring the tenor voice back to C. G flat, C, D flat, and A flat. Move the top voice to B flat, very nice. And then move to an F. So G flat, and on the bottom it's G flat, C, D flat. And then you have a variety of B flat, A flat, and F on top. Moving downwards, G flat, B flat, C, and F. And that top voice can go up to A flat too. And then a D flat triad proper over G flat, D flat, G flat, A flat, D flat, F. And maybe even bring the top voice from F to B flat up a fourth. Really nice. Very nice voicings. Moving to A flat, G flat over A flat. A flat, D flat, G flat, and B flat. Top voice can move to C. Also, with the A flat in the bass, middle voice can move to E flat. It's like an E flat minor over A flat. Top voice can move to D flat. So these are sort of semi-dominant chord type sounds. A flat, E flat, G flat, and B flat. Top voice moving from B flat to D flat. Also downwards, A flat, B flat, F, and G flat. Inner voice, the tenor moving from B flat to C. Again, like an A flat 13 chord, moving to a D flat. So this is A flat, C, F, and G flat, A flat, D flat, F, and G flat, and then E flat itself. So we get some nice inner voice motion. Moving in this direction, A flat, F, G flat, and B flat. Top voice moving up a perfect fourth to E flat and then down to D flat. So they sound like A flat dominant types. But in reality, they have the G flat sound. B flat, F, G flat, and D flat. Top voice moves to E flat. So these are based on the B flat now. Top voice moves to C, flat 5. Also, the F moves to D flat. So sort of a G flat triad, B flat, D flat, G flat with a C. Move that top C to A flat. Very nice. So those are good sounds. The inner voice can move to G flat, can move to E flat. So B flat, E flat, G flat, and A flat. Again, manipulating sort of those inner voice motions. So that's common. Also, B flat, C, F, and G flat, sort of planing those top notes. Also, B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat, fourths, and straight across. B flat, E flat, A flat, and C. It's like a sharp 11 type sound. Traditional B flat minor 7. Also moving the F to G flat. B flat, G flat, A flat, D flat. Top voice moves to E flat. Moves down to C as well for those B flat based chords, the first inversion chords for this. So any of those are available. Also B flat, G flat, A flat, and E flat. That's a nice sound. Moving a G flat triad with sharp 11, B flat, G flat, C, and D flat. So that's fairly common, you know. B flat, G flat, C, and F. Fairly common as well. Now C with a raised 11th. So we have G flat triad over C. C, G flat, B flat, and D flat. Moving upwards. C, A flat, D flat, and E flat. C, A flat, D flat, and G flat. And then with an F on top. It's like a D flat over C. So they have the sharp 11 sort of sound. So that's a nice group of sounds. Going across, again, C, F, G flat, and B flat. Move the F to E flat. Move the top voice to D flat as well. Or C, D flat, G flat, and B flat. So a G flat triad over a C. That's an interesting chord. And then moving ahead to the D flat ones, which are D flat, G flat, B flat, and F. The top voice can move to E flat for the 6. But also to the C. So again, the perfect fourth. That's nice. Move the tenor voice down, the alto voice, D flat, G flat, A flat, and C. D flat, G flat, A flat, and F. Moving again downwards, D flat, F, G flat, and B flat. So a traditional stacked G flat major 7 sort of sound. And again, the third can go up to the augmented fourth. So D flat, F, G flat, and C is also available. Moving back downwards this way, so we can move them down an octave. Also, D flat, A flat, B flat, and F. And then we can move the top voice like a B flat minor 7 but a nice added voicing, added to voicing, D flat, A flat, B flat, and G flat. You can move the bottom voice to E flat now. And now we have voicings on the E flat. So typical E flat minor 7 falls into that mode, E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Also with an F. So this sort of 11th chord voicing that we saw that worked here, B flat, E flat, A flat, and C. So these, all those voicings work over the G flat bass. Moving ahead, E flat minor 7, of course, E flat minor with the F, the G flat going to F, E flat, B flat, D flat, and F. Top voice moves to an A flat. That's fine too. To continue on, here's an E flat minor 7, which has a nice 6th sound. E flat, F, D flat, and G flat. Move the D flat and the alto voice to B flat, E flat, F, B flat, and G flat. So like a voice exchange for this. E flat, G flat, B flat, and F, like an added minor 9 kind of chord. Also adding the C on a chord like this sort of suspended chord, E flat, B flat, D flat, and A flat becomes, the B flat becomes a C. And if we move the bass note up to F, it sounds like an augmented 11th on, it's a D flat major. And then of course that leads us back to G flat, C, D flat, and A flat. Going back to the F now, we'll go this direction. So F, D flat, G flat, B flat, going to C, the top voice, from C to B flat to A flat. And again, we saw that kind of voicing, the relationship of the fifths. We saw it on C, and now it's on F. Okay. F going across, B flat, E flat, and A flat. Straight fourths is fine. Going in this direction to give a D flat kind of sound. F, F, A flat, D flat, and E flat is okay. F, B flat, D flat. F, B flat, D flat, and E flat leads us eventually to F, B flat, D flat, and G flat. So that top voice moving also can move up to the A flat, and you can see how it's a B flat minor 7 at this point. Also F, G flat, D flat, and E flat. You can hear how they all lead back to this kind of a sound, which is that all the G flat proper sort of sounds. Very nice sounds, all of them, and they all can establish a G flat major with a sharp 11 tonality. So this gives you a basic broad overview, or a good starting place for the major 7th chords with a sharp 11. And again, there are a lot of them, and of course opportunities to playing like this. D flat, F, D flat, G flat, B flat to C, and then G flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat to C. We have all these nice opportunities to sort of plain voicings. Very nice, very pastoral, nice voicings. They work really well. So those are the voicings on the 2, 3, 4, 5 string family, major 7th types on G flat.